Your soil can be loaded with compost and still behave like it's starving because nutrients don't feed plants until biology makes them edible. That rich, dark layer you've been adding is potential energy, not active nutrition. Without a thriving microbial workforce, much of that organic matter sits locked away, especially when cardboard mulching or woody inputs tilt the balance toward excess carbon. The result is a quiet nutrient bottleneck where nitrogen gets tied up, minerals remain bound, and plants show yellowing or stalled growth despite your best efforts. Compost is often treated as a complete solution, but it's only one half of the system. Nutrient-rich soil doesn't automatically mean nutrient-available soil. Plants rely on microbes to digest complex organic compounds into forms roots can absorb. When compost lacks diversity or activity, it becomes passive. Cardboard mulch, while excellent for weed suppression and moisture retention, adds dense carbon layers that demand even more microbial activity to break down. Without that activity, the system pulls nitrogen from the soil to process carbon, leaving plants deprived. This is why a garden can look well fed on the surface but functionally hungry underneath. The missing piece is indigenous microorganisms, the native bacteria and fungi adapted to your exact environment. These organisms act as the digestive system of your soil, unlocking minerals, cycling nutrients, and forming symbiotic relationships with plant roots. In many modern gardens, this biology is weakened by past chemical inputs, excessive tilling, or simply lack of replenishment. Compost alone cannot restore this complexity. Korean natural farming recognizes that soil health is not just about adding organic matter but about restoring microbial diversity so that every layer of mulch, cardboard, and compost becomes biologically active. The shift begins with capturing life from your own landscape. The IMO1 process uses a simple cooked starch, often rice, placed in a shaded natural area to collect wild microbes. What grows on that rice is a living snapshot of your local ecosystem's most efficient decomposers. These microbes outperform store-bought inoculants because they are already adapted to your climate, soil, and seasonal rhythms. Bringing them into your garden changes the focus from feeding plants directly to feeding the biological network that feeds the plants continuously. Once introduced, these microbes transform your mulch layers from barriers into engines of fertility. When applied to cardboard and carbon-heavy materials, fungal populations begin breaking down lignin and cellulose, converting rigid fibers into soft, nutrient-rich humus. This fungal dominance is key, as fungi specialize in decomposing woody materials and transporting nutrients across distances through hyphal networks. Underneath your mulch, you'll start to notice a subtle shift, a white, thread-like web, a rich earthy smell, and faster breakdown of previously stubborn materials. That's the microbial bloom turning static inputs into living soil. As this system matures, your garden becomes increasingly self-sustaining. Nutrients cycle faster, inputs decrease, and plants develop stronger immunity and deeper flavor profiles. Maintaining this momentum through the 2026 growing season means periodically feeding your microbes with simple ferments like plant juices or small additions of organic matter, while avoiding practices that disrupt fungal networks. Over time, the soil stabilizes into a resilient ecosystem where compost is no longer the star of the show, but part of a much larger biological orchestra. Moving beyond basic composting isn't about doing more, it's about activating what's already there. When microbes are thriving, your soil stops surviving and starts producing at its full potential. Subscribe to Timeless Humus Path for more ways to restore living soil and grow with nature, not against it.